Not all of us have Linux-friendly laptops, so today we're going to show you how to do some fun shit with Windows XP.
NetStumbler needs little introduction. It's straightforward and to the point. It lets you scan for wireless networks. It's one of the best tools and is often used by the government, hackers, and security professionals. Start up NetStumbler and click Device. Then select your network card. Now click the green arrow to start scanning. NetStumbler is basic, but it has some nice features. You can set up a sound script so it can tell you whether a network is open or encrypted, and what type of encryption it uses. This is an extremely useful feature when you're the one driving. If you have a GPS card, NetStumbler can track, log, and estimate the transmission range. NetStumbler is a definite must-have for anyone who's interested in war driving. The main downfall to NetStumbler is it takes total control over your network card, so you can't connect to any networks while it's running. Look at LAN as a nice little network scanner. It gives you a good deal of information about the network you're on. You can scan a host or a LAN. To scan a LAN, click Create New Profile. Then select the card you want to scan with. Now hit Next. The network will be scanned for an active IP address and will be scanned every 10 minutes unless you tell it not to. Let's start a scan. The top left window is Scan Stats. The right shows Graphs and Reports. The bottom are discovered machines and whether or not it's Windows. Double-click on any machine to get more info. The top left is Ping Reports, Hostname, and Traceroute. The left shows Mail, SNMP, and Network Shares. Network shares can be mapped to a drive for exploration. It also shows a port scan with possible active services. Look at LAN is great for simple scanning once you hop on the network. It's simple to use and easy to configure. Some of you may not know what a port is. A port is just that. It's a way to connect to a service. Any service such as IRC or web servers can run on any port number. But people often use the default ranges. For example, websites run on port 80 and 8080. So it's safe to assume that if port 80 or 8080 is running, the system is running some kind of HTTP server. Knowing the port and service is great, but you need a client. NetScan by SoftPerfect is a standalone network scanner. This program allows you to put in a range of IPs to scan. You can put in your local subnet address, and you can scan your local broadband connection for open and active connections. First thing we need to do is configure it to look for shares. Click Options, then Program Options. Now click the Shares tab. Select Scan for Shared Resources. Select Check for Write Access. Select All. Then click OK. Now we need to set your IP range. Click Options. Now click Detect External IP Address. Click Go and Use. Change it to scan your whole subnet. Your subnet is the first two sets of numbers in your IP from range 1.1 to range 255.255. Now click Start Scanning. This could take a few hours to scan. Now that some time has passed, let's take a look at the networks we found. The little blue computers you are looking at are the computers on this subnet. Not all of them have shares. You see the ones with the little plus in the box next to them? Those have shares. Click on the box to explore. Any of the folders in there are shared to the world. Take a look inside, see if there's anything interesting. You'd be amazed at what you might find. The ones that have a little lock in front of them, those are password protected. Most of the time, people do not set passwords, so try hitting enter and see if it lets you in. If you must have a username, try the computer name. You would be amazed at how dumb people are. Cain-Enable is a little complex. It has a Wi-Fi scanner, a network scanner, a port scanner, and a slew of other useful features. Although Cain has all of these features, I still like other standalone programs that do some of its functions. The main thing I like about Cain-Enable is it can perform an address resolution protocol spoof attack. An APR poison attack is commonly called a man-in-the-middle attack. Basically, your computer will sit between the router or switch and the networked machine and actively capture data. This can be used to intercept plain text passwords, image, or even voice over IP. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate how to capture voice over IP. Click Configure, then Filters and Ports. Make sure SIP and RTP are enabled, then click OK. Now start Sniffer and APR. Once you're done capturing, simply stop the Sniffer and APR. To listen to your captured conversation, open your Cain-Enable folder. Open the Voice over IP folder and play the WAV file with your favorite media player. I haven't been able to capture voice over IP with Wi-Fi yet, so it's best to try with a wired connection. One of the last things I want to mention is Cain-Enable is listed as a virus. It will make your virus scanner go apeshit. When messing with programs like this, it's best to use a computer that you don't mind formatting. Turn off any antivirus and firewall software you have running. There's many other features that are included in Cain-Enable. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to explain them all today. If you're interested in learning more, remember, Google is your friend. Ethereal is some pretty hardcore shit. It's not for the faint at heart. It will capture data coming from a network connection and allow you to see exactly what's going on. Ethereal isn't easy, and it takes some understanding to learn how to use it. Click Capture, then Interface. Select the network card you want to use, and click Capture. Once you're done capturing, click Done. Now look at your incoming packets. Find one that says AIM Incoming. Now expand the message block. Now go down to Message and read the capture message. Ethereal can be used to capture all kinds of shit. Everything from email to instant messengers, even IRC. In the Windows world, nothing is safe. These are just a few simple tools you can use on your Windows XP machine to do some basic scans and analysis. Keep in mind, this is just some basic stuff. I didn't go into much detail of their functions or capabilities. There are much more in detail tools that can do a great job, but this is just to get you started until you think you are ready to handle harder things. Today we're going to show you how to conceal all your computer equipment without anybody knowing that you're carrying all the crap.
Well, not only just computer equipment, but valuable electronics. I mean, everyone nowadays carries a cell phone. Most people carry handheld devices like PDAs, or smartphones, or what the hell ever. iPods especially. Oh man. Well, if you notice, I'm standing here in my trench coat. Now, I like trench coats because they fit what I like to do, and I like to go out with a lot of expensive electronics. Laptops, Wi-Fi scanners, pocket PC, a lot of phone freaking gear, and the last thing I want to do is have all of this equipment hanging off me advertising that I'm up to no good. So the trench coat basically just conceals everything. Now, the number one reason why I really enjoy a trench coat is not only does it go all the way down to my ankles, if a pickpocket comes up to me, bumps into me, and tries to pick anything out of my pockets, he has a hard time because you got to get through the actual coat itself. So you don't essentially need a trench coat, but it's a good idea to actually have a coat that goes below your actual waist level, closer towards the middle of your thighs. That way, if you have a cell phone or a PDA on your waist, you just pull your coat over it and no one can pull it right off. And that actually happens more often than you think. No matter what kind of neighborhood you're in, shit like that does happen. So I'm going to start getting naked for everyone. Ooh la la. And okay. portable screen. You know, you're familiar with this thing. This is one of the primary tools I use with my video scanner. I also hook it up to my laptop. A lot of times I'll put my laptop in my bag, like Mustang. He's got his laptop in a makeshift bag that we'll show you guys later. And just run a video cable with a power supply, and my screen is on here. Primary thing, it's just a tackle vest. I got it, I think, for like $7 plus shipping. I think shipping was like 75 cents. You don't have to break the bank. I mean, a lot of people have like flight jackets or SWAT team vests. $10. Inside of this, let's go fishing. Want to be my pocket fisherman?
Nah.
Not today. Okay. Got my Wi-Fi scanner. Audio amplifier, which is falling apart. Pocket PC in a magnesium case. Got my tone dialer. Extra batteries. Micro cassette recorder. Got a beige box. Got some wires in here somewhere. And I got my beige box cable. Now, that's just some of the stuff. I also carry the cell phone. If the cell phone's on my side, it's also in a belt clip that cannot be easily slid off my pants. This thing is such a pain in the ass, which is a good idea because a lot of times people just have like these little flimsy clips like these things, which they just break right off. These things are pieces of shit. Don't even bother. Get yourself a relatively decent belt clip. Another thing is, if you gotta carry money on you, don't put all your money in one pocket. Put your money in multiple pockets. That way, if a mugger comes up to you and says, "Give me your money," just go into the pocket that has like, you know, $4 or $5 worth of singles, and you know, you don't go into the pocket that, you know, has like, you know, handful of 20s. So now they got all your money. Another thing is, if you're gonna carry your wallet, now if you're gonna go out and do stupid shit, it's not good to have ID, or is it? I mean, that's your opinion. I don't like to carry ID.
Not your ID, at least.
Yeah. So, if you have a wallet, keep it in your front pocket, because pickpockets have a tendency of trying to grab it out of your ass pocket. If you do have to carry a wallet, put a rubber band around it. There's a simple, you know, you get them, like the mail carrier usually drops them all over the ground. I'm too poor to afford one. Yeah, I can afford all this electronics, but... let's see, what else is there? Oh, besides it, yeah. Notice how small I'm getting. Another thing is bags, laptop bags. It's really hard to find a laptop bag. Now, you know, here, let's see your bag. Here, let me clear some space for you. And that's why God invented accidental insurance. What are the kind of things that you look for when getting a laptop bag?
Just lots of space to store everything I need. Padding. Nice comfortable padding so it don't hit me in the back.
Yeah, that's very useful right there.
It's pretty much basic.
How much did you pay for it?
$19.99 at Walmart.
Not bad at all. So the only thing I don't like about this bag is it's got a nice Targus logo. And being a computer geek, I know Targus makes computer accessories. So this bag is going to be filled with computer accessories.
That's what the Sharpie's for.
Yeah, just think a little Sharpie. Like, a lot of people are carrying around iPods or PSPs with the white headphones. So I know the majority of the people with white headphones are either going to have an iPod or a PSP. If I was a mugger, this is what I'd be looking for. Now, here, give me this one. Give me this one. This is actually like a baby diaper bag.
Right, they give you free at the hospital.
Yeah, you get them free at the hospital. It's got a lot of padding, except for a very, very homosexual little teddy bear thing that had the hospital logo on it. I just ripped it off. It's got a lot of padding. Just added, these are supposed to be just little handle straps. I cut them, put button snaps on, so you can actually lock your laptop in relatively secure. I also took, over here, a padded, I don't know where I got this. Like, really, no idea. Now, my laptop's a 17-inch widescreen. Laptop plus batteries plus all my accessories weighs about, say, about 10 pounds. Yeah. So having all of this dead weight on one shoulder with just one thin strap cutting into your shoulder just really sucks. And that's something I look for in a lot of the bags. Padding on the shoulders. Let's see this one. This is El Cheapo generic. I'm a denim bag. I mean, really, there's no indications that I'm actually carrying a laptop. I mean, you know, unless I have the thing wide open and all my cables hanging out of it, you'd have no idea. Unfortunately, this bag has absolutely no protection, and the strap is relatively uncomfortable for very large laptops. I got this bag for $3 at a local thrift store. It's JanSport backpacks. You can get these things pretty much anywhere. It's a standard school bag. The straps are relatively nice. Unfortunately, they wear down a lot, and when you have a lot of stuff in the bag, they have a tendency of digging in your shoulders. I actually went and got a seat cushion. You know, like an old grandma, has hemorrhoids kind of seat cushion. And I just wedged it in my bag. Now, that adds the added, back support you need, and it also gives some slight protection against your laptop. My main issue is when I'm evading when I'm running away from the cops, I have a tendency of the laptop smashing me in the base of my spine. And as much as I really enjoy the pain, that's a very bad time for your laptop to be, gashing you in the spine. And the last bag we have to show it's just a standard camping backpack. Again, I just got a seat cushion from an old seat. I put it in here.
And again, nobody will know you're carrying a laptop. I think you got school books on you.
Exactly. That's the primary thing. It's deception. I mean, really, if you saw me with my coat and you saw this thing on my back, you think I'm just coming home from school. You don't realize, I've got spare laptop batteries, I've got Wi-Fi scanners, pocket PCs, plus I got the vest full of shit. The main thing is, when you go out, be safe. You don't want to go out and, the last thing you want to do is this at 3 o'clock in the morning. People will be able to see that glowing screen in the middle of the night from like a mile away. So go out and be safe. Me and Mustang, we go out relatively often enough in the middle of the night, and we scan for Wi-Fi and we do some fun stuff. But we use the buddy system. Whenever I'm on my computer, he's keeping an eye on the environment, make sure no one's gonna be lurking around, and vice versa. When he's on his computer, I'm making sure no one's gonna be in the environment. And also go with someone that you have no objection, where if the shit does hit the fan, you're confident in their ability to kick someone else's ass. They don't have to be an illustrious fighter, but if someone gets close enough to him, and I think they're gonna start any shit, I'm gonna take him down before they get a chance. I'll bat him in the kneecaps, I'll smack him in the ear, I'll drop kick him in the gut. If he sees someone coming up on me, he'll probably
hand you a brick.
Yeah, he'll hand me a brick and just start eating the popcorn. Yeah, fun show. That's pretty much it. Just go out there, be safe. You don't want to go out and advertise that you have $3,000 laptop, $400 worth of batteries, a $200 portable screen, $500 pocket PC, $300 new Razr phone. Stay hidden. Make sure you're not advertising, oh yeah, I'm rich bitch, got lots of money, want to show off my gizmos, because then there are going to be people that are, even though you're in the most beautiful of neighborhoods with no crime, there's always going to be that opportunity where someone's going to come by, and they're just going to kick you in the back of the kneecap, smack you in the face, and take all your stuff, and that's not something you want happening. So, with just some of these quick tips, you can dress elite, look good, and stay safe. Okay, what I'm going to explain to you now is how the phone company systems are actually interconnected with each other. It's just like a computer network, if you're familiar with computers, where there isn't just computer to computer. It's not a direct connection. Now, when you dial a phone number, you're not just dialing random digits. Those numbers mean something. Those are commands. Those are keystrokes telling the phone company's computer exactly what you want done. Now, example. Around where I live, and I think this goes for most of the United States, that you have to dial 1, area code, and then the phone number. Now, 1 means you want to dial within the United States. The area code is just that, what area you want to dial into. Then the next 3 digits, which are the start of your phone number, that's called the prefix. Now, the prefix is a more general idea of where you want that call to go. And the suffix is even more of a general idea. So, example, 1718. Telephone company, I want to dial within the United States. I want to go to 718, which is Brooklyn, New York. I want to dial 234. No, that's not my phone number. 234. Okay, it is my area. I know this for a fact, and I'll show you how I know that later. 234, which is the Bensonhurst area in Brooklyn, and then say 1234, which is a subdivision of the Bensonhurst area. So just by knowing the area code and the first 3 digits of a phone number, you can understand a general location of where things are going and where they're coming from. Now, this doesn't always apply because the phone company can actually move an entire phone number to a different place. Now, cell phones, nah, don't try tracking them. You can usually say, all right, 917 is singular, or 347 is singular, but with the whole cell phone roaming phone number thing, you can't really track cell phones. So if you want to stay anonymous, get prepaid cell phones. Those things kick ass. So you have something called an exchange. An exchange is your prefix, but it's not just your prefix. It's every single prefix that CO, the central office of your area, it controls. So, example, I believe some of the prefixes in my exchange are 232, 236, 234. You know what? How about we call up the phone company and we'll find out. Now, because we know that the phone company has numbers in specific ranges, a lot of the times you can call one area code prefix and then 99 whatever, like 00, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. Those are test numbers. So you can actually get a test number outside of your calling area. Now, example, everyone knows if you dial one area code 555-1212, you'll go and get the local, a local 411 office of not your area. So if I call 1-212-555-1212, I'll go and get the actual the 411 information from Manhattan. Now, I hooked up my little amplifier up to my phone yet again. Now, I'm going to dial 1-718-234-9901.
Congratulations, you have reached the 71st Street DSO, handling code 232-234-236-259-331, and 837.
There you go. Now, I hope you guys heard that, otherwise I'm recording this segment again, and I'm lazy. I don't want to do that again, so deal with it. Basically, that test number, when you call it, it tells you what prefixes that exchange covers. Now, the central office covers specific exchanges. Now, we know 232, 236, 234, I think he said 837, and a whole bunch of other numbers. Now, all of those are handled by the same CO. Now, this aids us in making a map of what phone numbers belong to what areas. Useful information, especially when you have caller ID. People can call your house and you don't know where they're coming from. You have a general idea of what their location is. Now, by knowing this, by knowing that those phone numbers mean something, you can actually, get off your lazy ass, pick up your phone, start punching in sequences of numbers to find out what goes where, why. Like, right now, I can dial, you know what, here, let's do another test. I'll put my amplifier back on my phone. Okay, we'll dial 718-373-9901. I don't know where 373 is, but we're about to find out. Someone's on their lunch break.
You have reached Avenue U DSO, the number 5 DSS switch, proudly serving code 265-266-372-373-449-714-946, and 996. 24 seconds.
Someone didn't hang up their phone soon enough. Basically, what that just told us is not only the prefixes, but also what kind of system that they're running. They're running an ESS5 with DSL capabilities. Mine was just running a DSL capability. So, by using this information of not only understanding how the phone companies put together, but how their test numbers are put together and how to use their test numbers to gain information on them, good stuff. Good stuff. You can get a lot of information. There are also test numbers that will allow you to run tests on lines to find out if they're working, they're up, if they're down, if they're in, if they're out, if they're left or the right, if they're bi, gay, or straight. You never know. Start poking around. This is what phone freaking is all about. Now, what you can also do is they have test numbers that are not on the standard 1 area code prefix 99XX system. They're on more of a 3-digit or 4-digit or an 8-digit. Like example, when we dial star 69, we block our caller ID. when we dial star 78, I believe, we enable caller ID rejection if you have caller ID. If you dial star 82, you unblock your anonymous call rejection. So if you're calling someone with anonymous call rejection, you will reveal your phone number. Now, there are systems called ANAC, Automatic Number Announcement Circuit. I'm not going to show you that because that's going to reveal my phone number, and you fuckers can piss off if you want that. Now, it's great. When you have a beige box, you plug into someone's line, how the hell you know where you're calling from? You dial into your ANAC number. Now, for me, it's 958. For most of New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Connecticut and Long Island, I have many places it's 958, but there are chances that you're in some kind of butt-fuck rural nowhere or you're out of the state. Sorry, Aussie bastards. I live in the U.S., so I only know the U.S. phone systems. My apologies. Anyway, 958, it gives you the phone number, the Automatic Number Announcement Circuit. That phone number is called your ANI. Now, when you have the ANI of a line, it's just your phone number. ANAC gives the ANI. So, it's always good to know the terminology because social engineering is also another very important tool in phone phreaking. Because you're never going to see people face to face, you're going to actually have to talk to them. You're going to have to sweet talk them, you're going to kiss their ass and lick their asshole. You're going to have to do whatever it takes to get information out of these people. Do not try to social engineer operators. Do not dial 0 and then try to social engineer the operator. Don't dial 411. These people have been trained not to give any information about the phone systems whatsoever. Do not try it. You will fail miserably, and I will point at you and laugh in your face maniacally because it won't work. Don't try. But you can go to the guys that are out on the street, just stare at them and until they go, hey, what the fuck do you want? You just, oh yeah, mind if I ask you some questions? I'm interested in the work. And then just talk to them. Learn how to social engineer. Learn how to get information. I'm not giving you all the answers. I don't want any emails. I don't want any messages. I don't want any chat. What's my ANAC? You know, what's my ANI? Or what's the test number for DAT2? Or how the hell do I crack voicemail? Or how the hell do I go and get into the announcement circuit at you know, whatever local shop? I'm not telling you. This is what phone phreaking is about. It's about exploration. Not me sitting there, wiping your ass, giving you all the answers. So, have fun. This is the intro. That's all I'm giving you. Just an intro. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an introduction to phone phreaking and what it is, what it's all about, and what you need to get started. Phone phreaking essentially is just having an interest in the telephone system, how it works, how it runs, and just playing with it, just like you do with a computer system. Now, one of the primary tools that you need to become a phone phreak is, well, besides, you know, a finger and a telephone line, is a beige box. A beige box is simply a test set that allows you to plug into almost any set of wire. All it really is a standard phone cord. I cut this one to about 3 feet long, and you go and splice an alligator clip into the middle 2 wires, which are supposed to be the red and the green wire on the inside. Middle 2. Okay? Middle 2. Unfortunately, this is not a standard phone cord, so it doesn't have the standard color code. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Just those middle 2 wires. I'm not going to go into exactly how to attach an alligator clip to a piece of wire. I'm pretty sure you can all have the collective intelligence to figure out how to twist wire onto an alligator clip. Okay? Once you have a beige box built, you know, the companion to the cable is a phone. I've got this phone. Now this phone, I got it for about $12 at a local thrift store, and it's great. You know, it can take a 25-foot fall with no problem, and it was really relatively inexpensive. Now, I got this phone because it looks like a cell phone, and there have been plenty of times when I was beige boxing that little phone saved my ass because someone came up to me and said, hey, what are you doing? And I said, piss off, I'm on my cell phone. So, yeah, you don't want to go and carry around like one of those huge desk office phones. Not good. Another thing is a recorder. Now, not to go and put tones on, not to put music on, but record what you're doing with the phone system because not everything is repeated. You might actually lose some kind of information or not be able to write it down fast enough, and it's always good to have. You don't need to have a microcassette recorder, whatever. You know, you might have an iPod or an MP3 player that can record, whatever. It's a good idea. Small little amplifier. Now, I got this amplifier from Radio Shack for about $12, and I made some slight modifications to it. The main modification is the battery. Now, normally it uses an N-size battery, which are very expensive. All I did was switch around the battery connector, and I also added in a headphone jack. Now, what this allows you to do is take my standard house phone, or pay phone, or beige box, or whatever, and you strap it over the top, and when you turn it on, the amplifier will not only spit out amplified audio, it'll also spit out the headphone jack to directly patch into your recorder. Fun. Now, not only do you have that, you should also have a relatively useful multi-tool, because, you know, something's going to go foobar in the field, and you don't want to be left there with your thumb up your ass with no way to fix your stuff. Or someone else's if you decide to go and do something naughty with someone else's shit and break it. Also, wire cutters and strippers. Yeah, unless God really likes you, and I mean really, really likes you, you are not going to get your hands on a set of these. These are called angled bed of nails. There's a small little bed of nails in there, which you probably can't see because of someone's shitty re-encoding. Thank you! That this will actually chew onto a wire non-destructively, so you don't even have to splice wires with these things. You can buy them, but they're expensive. You can steal them, but that's a crime. And, you know, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, and don't tell anyone I told you to steal anything, because I didn't. Also, have a good knife, because you never know when you're going to need to cut something. I mean cable, asshole, not people. I'd never do that. Little phone. I love these little phones. I used to wear one of these things with my pager. Yeah, I know, pagers. This was like almost 10 years ago. Fuck off. This little phone has a headphone jack for an earpiece, so you basically wear it like one of the FBI agents. And then you carry a small little beige box cord wherever you can pack it in your ass. And if you ever need to go and do anything beige boxing wise, there you go. You got a beige box. Also, if someone actually catches you, you just look like you're crazy talking to yourself. Unfortunately, it's really hard to get this version because this is a discontinued Radio Shack model, but you can go and find similar models out there. They're relatively inexpensive. You don't have to break the bank on buying equipment. A lot of this stuff can be found in either your basement, garage, or somewhere just trashed around your house. Now, another thing I want to explain when it comes to beige boxing is a lot of us, we don't like jail. A lot of us. There are some of us that like it. I'd like to keep those people anonymous right now, but cordless phone. Radio Shack, $12. I think it was $8 after rebates. Remote control battery pack. Okay? The battery pack and the charger cost about $20, $25. The battery pack matches the voltage of this phone. I went out and I bought the power connector that fits this phone and the power connector that fits the battery. Now, that allows me to run this phone off of a battery pack. Huzzah. I have a cordless beige box, and if you're intelligent and a little sneaky, you can probably disguise this thing not to look like a cordless phone, but to look like, I don't know, a video selector box or a TNI on the side of someone's house. Use your imagination. But point being is you plug this thing in the middle of the night, you can come back in the middle of the day. As long as you have range, you have a connection. Now, I want to tell everyone off the bat that breaking into people's phone lines is a crime. You know, accessing the telephone system without their consent permission, like, you know, if you're going to decide to access some kind of test line that you should not access, like the DAT2 system, which I'm not going to explain because the DAT2 system allows you to shut down people's phone lines. And if you get supervisor access to a DAT2 system, you can actually bring up entire prefixes. Later on, you'll actually understand. So, this is just some of the beginner stuff for phone phreaking. Really, all you need is a phone and a finger. But if you want to get a little bit more in detail to it, then you know, you need a phone, a finger, and a beige box. So, I hope you all enjoyed this segment, and look forward to a couple more segments by me about beige boxing, phreaking, and how not to go to jail.
Alright, come closer. Okay, I gotta make this quick. Multi-tool, 7/16 socket bit if you got one. One. Oh, they already opened up for us. Okay, we're in. We open up the can. Put our tool away. Okay, now on the inside. Use your pairs. A pair, a pair, a pair, a pair. Now the only way for you to tap in or actually get a connection is by splicing into the wires. Unless you're lucky enough to own one of these. Now this is the clip that mates into here, like so. With bare terminated ends, do whatever you need to do. Now usually these boxes have something called a main line, which is a line that is used for the phone company's explicit use when they have to call in for new orders. But unfortunately, this one doesn't have it. Okay, we're here at another phone box. This one's not even locked. It's not even using wired to do anything. Shh. Pair. Just like the other phone box. Now, to my knowledge, underneath here, all the way in the bottom, there's supposed to be our main line. There you go. Alright, here we go into a little midget box. If I can get the right tools out.
Just a little loud there.
Yeah. See, this is a relatively full box. Usually they put reports on the side panels, but this thing is so old they've all been eroded away or torn off. Again, use your pairs. Cars coming, so we gotta hurry up. Now, when it comes to the wiring scheme, the solid wire is considered the red, or the ring. The striped wire is considered... A lot of these phone guys, they actually tie up the main lines on the posts that are supposed to be guarding the cans from actually being struck by a car. You know, these locks, easy to pick, if they even have one. And if you can't pick a lock, you know, if they don't have a lock to pick, then usually it's just a 7/16 bit or a 3/8 bit to open it up. Coming up on this next box, there's too many people around to actually get a segment, so we're gonna have to wait a couple of minutes. Picture of an old box, picture of a new box. Picture of an old box, picture of a new box. Two different things, do the same thing. Phone lines run into them, so the phone guys can work on them. And because of these little bad boys, beige boxing exists. God bless the phone company. I don't know if I've stated it before, but the main line is used solely for the phone company guys to make calls, like, you know, they get new orders or to close a job or whatever. Waiting for some people to actually fuck off right now, and once they do, I'll pop this son of a bitch open and I'll show you around. Okay, we gotta make this one quick. Come a little closer. Alright, 7/16 bit, or... Come on. Even the best of us have problems from time to time. That was not even opened up. Every time a car passes by, my heart stops.
And he's stopping.
Shit, don't. Keep going, asshole. Be car service. He's circling the block. We gotta hurry this up.
Let's go.
Okay.
Fuck it. It ain't worth it.
Yeah. Goodbye, lowly phone boxes. I can't break into you tonight. Well, now you know why they call it phone freaking. Okay, we're out in the middle of Times Square, and what do we see here? These are little, parts trailers for the phone company where they stash their equipment because they're too far away from any of the central offices where they park all their trucks. If you're really good with lock-picking skills and you have the balls enough to come out here, these things are a treasure chest of equipment you can go and find for free. As long as the phone company doesn't realize you borrowed them, they won't ask for it back. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Lucky Phil, and we're inviting you to send us your segment ideas and segments. That's right, if you record, cut together and send us a segment for the show, we'll likely air it next episode. To do so, please join us in IRC. That's on the server eaglepoint.auradirect.com in the BSOD channel. If you'd like to contribute but you haven't got access to the best editing software or a DV cam, that's not a problem. In this segment, I'm going to show you how I'm putting this together using a webcam, a cheap desktop microphone, and some free software most of you probably already have. This is the hardware I'm using to capture the segment with. The microphone cost me $10, the webcam cost me $40, and I'm capturing onto an old laptop. The laptop is a Compaq Evo N610C. The CPU is a P4 Mobile 1.7. It has 256 megabytes of RAM and a 4800 RPM hard drive. To capture video, I use VirtualDub, which you can download from www.virtualdub.org. Once you have VirtualDub up and running, go to the File menu and select Capture AVI. If your webcam doesn't initialize automatically, you can select it from the device menu. Now, of course, there's a lot of settings in here you can change. I'm only going to show you the settings that I changed for myself that I found work best. Under the capture menu, I selected timing, and I made sure that sync video to audio by adjusting video timing was selected. The reason for this is that this setting makes sure that the audio is captured correctly and that the video arranges itself around the audio. The reason for this is because with limitations of my laptop, not every single video frame was being captured. Because of that, the audio was therefore being captured at the wrong speed, with the option below that selected sync audio to video by resampling. So unless you have a fast system and you can capture every single video frame without an issue, make sure that sync video to audio by adjusting video timing is selected. After doing that, I went to capture settings and I dropped the frame rate from 30 frames a second to 25 frames a second. By doing this, I significantly reduced the chance of me dropping video frames, which can run the risk of the audio and video going out of sync. Once that happens, you're in a whole bunch of trouble. Depending on the speed of your machine, you may wish to use some compression on the fly. On other machines, I've used DivX compression as well as Huffy video compression. Unfortunately, this system isn't the fastest, so I just capture my video uncompressed. Once you've done that, you just specify a file name. And after doing that, you can start capturing by either going to capture video, or simply hitting the F5 button. Okay, I'm now capturing. You'll notice a whole bunch of stats in the right hand panel here. Things to pay attention to are the amount of capture time left, the amount of disk space left, CPU usage, and whether or not you're inserting too many frames or dropping frames. Inserting frames generally isn't a problem, it just means that VirtualDub isn't able to capture every single video frame. It's therefore inserting frames to compensate for this. Now, the reason the amount of frames I'm inserting is so high is mainly because I'm capturing what I'm doing on screen at the same time that I'm capturing video, and to be honest, my laptop hard drive can't handle this. It's just too slow. So usually the amount of frames inserted would be much lower, but hey, this is what happens. To stop capturing, you just hit the escape button, and once you've done that, you can exit out of capture mode. Now, because the video file I just made was uncompressed, the file size is huge. This makes it near impossible to play back in real time using programs like Videoland Client, Media Player Classic, Windows Media Player, etc. And it also makes it very difficult to work with using video editing software. I therefore reopen the video file I just created and I recompress it before I do anything else. The compression settings that I have been using have been the DivX 6.1 codec with the settings set to quality base with a target quantizer of 1. This will recompress the video using DivX 6 using the highest quality video settings, therefore giving you a much smaller file size that's much easier to work with while not necessarily noticeably reducing the video quality. Once you've done that, you can just save that off. If you notice that when you play back the video file you have a lot of background noise, you can export the audio as a WAV file, import that into a program such as Audacity or SoundForge, and apply a noise cancelling filter. Once you've done that, you can resave the WAV file and re-import that into VirtualDub. To capture what I'm doing on screen, I'm using CamStudio, which you can download from www.camstudio.org. There's not a whole bunch of stuff to show you on this, it's very straightforward. It mostly sits in your system tray and you access it via right click. You have the options record, stop, pause and exit. If I double click the icon, you'll see a bunch of stats such as the screen resolution, frame rate, the codec I'm using, time elapsed and more. I did change the codec that I'm using from the default. You can download the CamStudio lossless codec as well at www.camstudio.org. You do end up with a larger file than what you would do using the default one, but I find that the improvement in picture quality is most definitely worth it. I've also told CamStudio to record audio from my microphone. This saves me the hassle of recording the audio separately and trying to get everything in sync. Once you've finished capturing, just hit the stop button and it'll then prompt you to enter a file name and it'll then save the capture off. To put this segment together, I'm using, of all things, Windows Movie Maker. Now, you may decide to mock me. To be honest, I don't care. Think of it this way. It's easy enough to use and I'm lazy. It's also free and pretty much guaranteed to be on any Windows XP machine that I sit in front of. There's a few things to consider when putting together a segment, the first of which is to try to be in a well-lit environment with not much background noise. Sure, you can adjust the audio and video levels in software, but this can lead to undesirable results. Secondly, try to keep the amount of motion on screen to a minimum. Most webcams don't have a great frame rate, and many of them adjust the lighting level depending on what's inside the shot. Thirdly, try to set the focus of your camera correctly. Most webcams don't have autofocus and it makes a big difference to the quality of your picture. I hope this segment has inspired some of you to contribute to the show. Whether you'd like to do so or just have a chat, please join us in IRC. Once again, that's on the server eaglepoint.orderette.com and the channel BSOD. The show notes for this segment, along with everything else on our show, will be at our website www.bsodtv.org.